Hey guys, hope everybody's doing great. So today's video I want to talk about, I got a request for this video, and I want to talk about our life purpose, our soul purpose on this earth, on this planet. And a lot of people don't know that we come into this life with contracts. We sign a contract, we know, what we have to do. We sit down, basically it's like we sit down at a table, we sign this contract with God, and we commit to it. And then, it's like he throws us out here, and we're here fulfilling our purpose in life, and everybody's purpose is different. And I know sometimes it might seem like people don't have a purpose, but even people who are evil, even people who have a really hard life or suffer a lot in life, there's a purpose for that. There's a reason for that, whether it's something that we have to learn now in this life, or because of a lesson that whether it's a lesson we have to learn from a past life, or whether it's just something that we have to go through. Like, we really never know, but we all do have a purpose, and a lot of things in life are lessons because we didn't learn it, or we have to learn it to move on to the next level. And that's another thing, the next level in life. Some of us, this is our last life. Some of us, this is our first life. Some of us, this is, we're in the middle and we're going to transition into another life, but we never really know until we pass away. There are a lot of secrets and a lot of things that we don't know, especially us as mediums, as psychics. We don't have all the answers. We just know the surface of things and how a lot of things work, but then there's a lot of things that we don't know, how it works and stuff like that. And basically, if you know your purpose in life, the best thing to do is act on it, because you don't want to waste your life not, doing what you're supposed to be doing, because who knows, you might have to come back and recycle and start all over again with the life that you were so miserable with. We just don't know. So once you find your purpose, act on it and go for it. And why we have a purpose, like I said, it could be a lesson we have to learn here. It could be a lesson that, or it could be a lesson that we've already learned, but we didn't get it and we have to learn it again. Like, there's always something, there's always a next step to that. So if you're wondering, or you feel like, I don't have a purpose, or why am I going through this, it's always a lesson. Like, I know myself, I went through a lot of suffering in my life, and I'm not sure why, but I'm guessing that it's something to do with my past life, whether I didn't learn that lesson or whether I had to finish the suffering. And that's another thing. Sometimes we have to finish something that we started in another life, that we had in a past life, that continues on to this life. So there's just many different reasons. There's many different ways to go figure out what it is. Like, there's past life regression, which a lot of people do, a lot of mediums, a lot of psychics, and I believe that non-mediums and non-psychics do it also. So if you're really interested in that, you can find somebody who specializes in that, and they can, help you find out. But when you're looking for someone to do that, make sure that they're qualified. Make sure you get feedback from other people. Make sure you know that they know what they're doing, because at the end of the day, a past life, if somebody wants to make money, they could sit there and tell you anything. They could be like, oh yeah, you were this, and now you have to do this. For the right price, people will do anything. So when you're looking for somebody like that, make sure you find the right person with the right intention, because you don't want to, be living your life thinking, oh, well, in a past life, I murdered someone, so now I must suffer, and knowing that's not true. It could be something totally different. So, again, make sure you research who you find. If you're really into it, if you really want to find out, your past life. And to answer the question, what is our purpose? Everybody has a different purpose. You just have to find it out. But our purpose in here is to finish what we started, or our purpose our purpose here is to, complete or start. Some of us are just starting, some of us are completing, some of us are in the middle. So it's really, everyone is different. Every individual is different. Everybody's life purpose is different. Everybody's soul plan is different. And that's another thing. Your soul plan, we all have a soul plan. Like I said, we write out a contract when we come here and we figure out what it is. Now, some of us most of us, like, I want to say 90% of us don't remember doing this. Some of us do. Some of us have flashbacks. Some of us have visions. Me personally, I don't remember anything like that. So I just, I just chop it up as I have a life purpose here and I have to fulfill it, which I think mine is to be a light worker, is to be a medium, is to be somebody that helps, that shows sympathy, to heal people, to be there for people. Maybe in a past life I wasn't that person, or maybe in a past life I didn't get that love and care, or it could be anything like that. So you just have to kind of follow your heart, and you just have to really look into it if that's where you are in life and you're really trying to figure out your life purpose and stuff like that. And when we sit down and we make that contract, we pick out our parents, we pick out the people who we come across in life. There's always a reason for something. Like, people who come in our lives, there's a reason for that. That was already picked out. We already wrote that in our plan. People come in our lives for certain reasons, even if it's a small reason, even if it's something that someone came in your life and tried to mess your life up. There's a reason they did that. There was a purpose for that. So you kind of have to look deeper into certain situations in your life and figure out what those things mean to you. But I'm not saying like overthink it and don't make it into a big deal, because sometimes they're just little things, sometimes they're big things. But everybody does come into our life, and we have invited these people in our life because this is what we sat down and we wrote and we agreed to. We agreed to have all of this stuff happen. And number one, we agreed to come back. We didn't just show up here. We, for some reason, said, okay, I'll go back to another life. I'll live this life. I'll do this. I don't know what I was thinking. No, I love my life, but in the beginning it was crazy. But I don't know. I don't know that part, and I don't think many people do know why we decide to do it, but we do it, and those are the things that do happen. So a lot of times people come in our life for reasons, and we might not like it, but at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, and there is no such thing as a coincidence. I believe that. A lot of people believe it, but I don't believe there's such thing as a coincidence. I just think there are facts, and things happen because they're supposed to, and that's just life, and that's what was written, and that's what we signed our contract to. And another thing is suicide. Now, I don't want to really talk about it that much because it's a very sensitive subject, and it makes me very sad and whatever. I do have a video about it that I made a few months earlier, or when I first started my channel, so you guys could check that out. But with suicide, when people kill themselves, now in most cases it's called breaking your contract. You're breaking your contract, and you usually have to come back. But see, this is the thing that is very iffy, because I have connected with souls who, now I don't want to say iffy, I want to say that doesn't pertain to everyone, because I have connected with souls who this was their last life and they just couldn't take it anymore, and their soul was just so tortured or so much going on that they ended up committing suicide, and they're fine. They're fine. Nothing has happened, and they're not coming back. But there are souls that get stuck and have to come back, and you break that contract. And I believe that is, that's between you and God. Everybody has their own reasons for doing what they do, but I think that when you do it selfishly, when you do it for no reason, and you're just doing it because you're selfish, or like if your boyfriend doesn't want you, or your husband doesn't want you, and then you kill yourself, I mean, that's kind of a selfish reason to commit suicide, honestly, in my opinion, which I know it hurts, but come on, like, you can't do that because people need you, and it's just not worth it. That's just another human being, hurting you, and it's not worth your life. But let me not get caught up in that. But what I'm saying is that, you know, everybody's soul is different and everybody has an opinion on different things. But as my experience as a medium, talking to people who have passed, connecting with them, I have came across people who have committed suicide and are not coming back. Their soul plan was not to come back. And I've connected with people who are lost, who are, you know, in that gray area I like to call, and they broke their contract, so they have to deal with that, and they are going to come back and they're going to learn, because like I said, we're all here to learn the lesson. If we do not execute that lesson, then we're going to have to come back. It is a learning experience. Life on this earth is a learning experience. We are here to learn, whether it is in pain, whether it is, you know, suffering, whether it's a happy life, whatever it is, we're here to learn. Ups and downs, you know, good and bad. We're here to learn. It's all a learning experience. For some reason, we have to take that with us. We have to make that completion, because we've had so many lives, or some of us are just beginning. So when you're trying to figure out what your purpose is, or trying to figure out what the lessons is that you need to learn, and why did you go through things, you know, find some books about stuff like that. There's a lot of really good books that explain all that stuff and that can really help you. And like I said, you know, look for a past life regression professional person who can help you. I mean, even if they're not professional, somebody who you trust, somebody who you know can get the job done right. Find somebody like that that can help you. Find somebody who specializes in life purpose and past life regression and stuff like that, so it can help you move forward. Because I know I've heard of some people who have really gotten stuck in this life, and I've really been confused and need a little help, and want to know, what is it that I need to do to move forward? What is it that, you know, that I'm here for? What is it? Why is it that I'm suffering? What do I need to learn from this? What do I need to do to move on? So if you are somebody like that, you know, research it, look at books. There's many podcasts. I'm sure there's YouTube videos on it. But at the end of the day, we all have a purpose, and we need to make that purpose count, and we need to make this life count, and we need to figure out what it is. So if anybody has any questions, or needs any advice on how to figure out what to do, or if you need any good book recommendations or a podcast or anything like that, just feel free to contact me and let me know. And I'm sure you can type in anything like that, like on YouTube or Google. So I hope this answers some questions, and let me know if you guys want to talk more about it, you want a more deeper discussion, or you want more information. But that was just the basis of it. When I tell you guys things, I try to tell you at first the most easy part, you know, just the basic stuff, because I know when I was you know, out there trying to search for things, I'd find channels and things were really complicated, and, you know, people just used big words and made it really complicated and confusing. And when I make my videos, I just try to make it like, so people can understand it in simple words and in a simple way, because it's really not that complicated. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. Certain things are little things here and there, but at the end of the day, it's really not that complicated if you know what you're talking about, and, you know, you've researched it and you've been through it. But again, like I always say, there's always room for learning. There's always new information. I'm sure I didn't cover everything. I'm sure the next person didn't cover everything. So everybody you can just gather all the information and, you know, put it together yourself. That's what I like to do with anything that I do. I take a whole bunch of information from, you know, a whole bunch of different things, and I put it into something that I make my own, and that's how I live by it. So again, if anybody has any questions, let me know, and I'm gonna go, and I hope everybody has a blessed day. And don't forget, make this life count, and don't worry about why, you know, why it happened, or you know, why me, or something like that. Just go with it and make it count. Alright guys, have a great day. Bye.